Hey, wow, there's my old car, that Volkswagen back there.
Is that the stolen car?
Yeah. Anyway, these leaves amounted to about 4 garbage bags, and they were very precious and cost a substantial amount of our budget for the art department. So after each take, we would rake them up and scoop them up and put them in the bags and get ready to go again. Just blow them out there with a fan or drop them over the top of the camera.
Did you use the Steadicam on these kind of shots, or just on the specialty shots?
That sort of became our movement of choice, using the Steadicam. It became, I think this was the show that used it the most ever up to that point. And we would use it to track along with people, but then also as a point of view of the shape of Michael Myers, to create, sort of the suspense and tension.
It was one of those very happy coincidences of tone. It gives off a strange tension of sorts that's hard to describe, but the results are stupendous.
Yeah.
This is one of my best pieces of work here. My left shoulder.
Anytime I see that shot, my eyes just well up with tears.
Yeah.
That's the essence of what turns out to be called suit acting. There is a guy who, the original King Kong, is now touring the country at various festivals.
Godzilla, not King Kong.
Yeah, Godzilla, sorry. And I didn't realize that the term was, he's one of the hero suit actors of all time.
So would you call me maybe the Brando of suit actors, Tommy?
I might.
Yeah, but I think the fact that you're such a method kind of guy, shows up in your work.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, it sort of adds a lot to every scene. Seriously speaking, being the son of a dancer, I think that John was serious about wanting someone who didn't lurch around, who moved well, who glided along, and you certainly had that quality. Yeah, and it's no small thing, because later movies, sequels, people tended to hire stuntmen, and most of them sort of lurch around.
Yeah, they walk as if they're menacing as opposed to being evil.
Which I am.
Yeah,
an evil dancer.
Yeah, exactly.
It turns out, though, I was the worst tap dancer in my dad's tap dancing class. I don't know if that had any bearing, really.
Really?
Yeah,
there's a good example of, we call that the Shape Mobile, and because this is a $300,000 picture, that was also the main vehicle for the art department to get our stuff around. The one thing I love about Halloween is we talk about back to basics. We're not talking about a gore fest here. It is a creation of expectation and then being toyed with over and over again. Now you see it, now you don't. Mm-hmm. What's going to happen now?
Yeah.
The essence of suspense and just old school trickery. I really admire that to this day. It was extremely well done.
Yeah.
And let's remember, it started with a really simple, effective script.
And the fact that this was sort of the first of this, new take on the genre, so there wasn't a lot of reference before this as how to do suspense other than just really good suspenseful movies, Hitchcock and guys like that.
You can see the evolution or devolution, if you wish, in from the time of this movie to the time that Halloween 2 got made. A couple of years went by, and in that time, so many imitators and other movies for which the doors opened at that point, immediately there was a sort of inflation of violence. Each movie felt it had to outdo and get gorier and rougher, so that by the time Halloween 2 came along, that was a great deal more of a gore fest.
Yeah, and I think one of the impressive things about this movie is how effective it is And we made a very conscious effort to not use blood. There's
very
not,
little.
There's no blood.
I think
in
maybe
this.
Nancy in the car, just a little hint of it. Nancy Loomis, my ex-wife.
Mm. And speaking of exes, this is my son's ex-school. He went to elementary school here. We lived literally 1 block from here. So this film was quite a family event.
It's interesting. I'm noticing that there's very sparse use of the mask, of seeing the mask close
Yeah,
early on.
the looming
Yeah.
shape and
And
step.
which, a lot of backs, a lot of shoulders. With that one shot, I guess, looking out the window of the schoolroom, you could see it flat on, but that's pretty far away. So if that was designed, that was a kind of interesting way of approaching it.
It is.
Well-
I think it was always leave something else to be revealed.
See, don't get too familiar with the monster. Is the
Yeah.
Right.
technique. John is a huge fan of older, vintage, scary movies, monster movies, and the rules are simple: is don't get too familiar with the bad guy, with the monster. Keep it in shadow. Use POVs instead of constantly looking at it and seeing it, demystifying it.
That's a clue.
This was out in